Ganvié, Benin is a truly unique and remarkable place to visit. I've been in a lot of places in the world, 60 countries so far, and different kinds of uh, countries too, different types of destinations, cities, nature, everything. But I've yet to been to a place where it's this memorable, this unique in so many different ways, and just the history itself is quite remarkable. So I'm so excited to make this part of a mission trip actually to West Africa. I made a stop. It only takes a few hours to visit this whole place, but it's gonna be a few hours that you will remember for the rest of your life, and not just for its uniqueness, but also there is a beauty in everything that we encounter, in the combination of what people have done with this place as well as the natural beauty, which you will see with your eyes. So if you look at a map, we were actually in the port, a little town, and there are all these houses ahead of us. So you think you're in the middle of a place where people live, but in fact, you're looking at Ganvié. It's all these houses on the water. There's only so far you can go in a car, and then you have to get out of the car. You have to get into a boat. There's many, many different boats you could take to visit these villages, but we're told that we're going to get on one of the best ones because there's certainly a wide array of options, and some of these are actually turned out to be local transportation. Some of those are for tourists. So we picked a tour that is very short. Again, takes maybe a couple hours to visit. That's about it. And also, like, it's quite hot out there, especially on a sunny day like this, right? So you don't want to stay out for too long. So there we go. We found our boat, obviously the nicest one, and off we go to see the Venice of Benin, or even Venice of Africa. Again, there are all these other choices like little canoes you can take, and you have these really young kids paddling it. They look like they're just going home, but some of these are actually asking if anybody want to join them, I think, or maybe you want a slow version of a tour that would take you as well. But I think given the time that we have, I think we prefer to take something like a speedboat. And our boat can go actually quite fast compared to some of these guys. But here, whereas we're leaving this rather narrow waterway with a lot of traffic, so obviously can't go very fast right now. So this whole village has about 30,000 people. It's pretty amazing. It's not a very big country, not just a few million people, I think. And it's allegedly have 3,000 or more houses or stilts. And the reason why they established this village kind of out there is not even near the shore, the port is actually way out there. Is because they were escaping from Portuguese slave traders who were just catching people left and right in the country. And back in the 17th century, that is more than 300 years ago, they took refuge in a place like this. They found the water is very shallow, so they could actually build homes or stilts in the water. And they named this place Ganvié because Ganvié in local language means survived or survival, which is quite appropriate name for what they had achieved, which is really found a place where they could survive. So between the port and the actual village itself, we saw still a lot of people, right? So they obviously make a living on water with whatever they got. So there's seems to be a lot of fishing going on. There's people try to cultivate or farm seafood. It's very obvious that they're doing that in pockets, but this is quite a huge place, so understandably can sustain a lot of people. And it's also a local transportation. They look like buses with a ton of people in it, and they look like locals. And like I said earlier, we also saw a lot of these little canoes where people just like paddling around, looking like they're it's like almost like driving a car on there. And pass by these patches of lotus-like plants. They're actually called hyacinth. It's a plant that locals actually use it allegedly for all sorts of things. So on the way back, we're gonna take a closer look at them. So now we're just gonna go all the way as fast as we can to the village. So at the edge of the village, seeing like the first house here, and we got a welcome crew. I'm sure it's local hospitality as well as, you know, be nice to give them a tip, right? And so you guys are totally paddling like crazy and drumming and everything. It's very welcoming, African style, obviously. And this place we're going to is basically like the first stop of the tour. Right? So there are several stops that you can make. It's more welcoming, more paddling, and now it's our turn to get off the boat and check out these. It looks like a home, but really you go inside, it's more like a souvenir shop, and they even have big posters made introducing what they do here. They're making the arts and crafts stuff, and there's a baby crawling around. So it is somebody's home, I guess. So aside from fishing and farming and water, this is probably the biggest source of revenue. Just having souvenirs come for tourists, and we're not big souvenir buyers, but we looked at what they got. It's a pretty impressive collection of stuff, some of which I don't think they're made like in this village, because I think it take at least material needs to come from somewhere. But some of those are like you saw, they're making them right there. So then we kind of start going into the village on the waterways, or even into the alleys, and we start seeing these houses, these stilts. They're quite impressive. Actually, they're nicer than many of the houses that you see in land. And it doesn't look like they're an economic hardship, because most of these houses are pretty well kept. They even have them painted nicely. They're all wearing decent clothes, and it look like, you know, these guys are making a decent living at least. And most of these are homes that we're seeing here. But there are also like buildings with signs of like a school. We'll pass by some markets, and there are people just like walking around looking like they're going about their life. Okay, then we'll go to another souvenir shop plus a snack shop for a drink, because like I said, it's pretty warm out there. It's very nice to have a Coke. And this place gives you an excellent view of the village itself. More houses. I mean, I can totally understand how 30 people can fit in here. And with all these guys just paddling around, quite a scene. Not exactly gondolas, fancy Italian opera singers, whatever. But it's very unique for sure. And then we went into the alleys, right? This is really where people live. Again, most of the homes are still pretty good shape. We were taken to see some markets. I think they were selling fresh water, because there are a lot of these blue barrels all over the place. And we saw like families paddling around us on their transportation boat. There saw like churches, saw markets. Market can be over water or in the house, so both are pretty popular. You see people around trading stuff. Yeah, again, there just seems to be more commercial activities than I had expected, and plus some really big structures. I think they must be little island or land. I mean, because it look like these buildings can hold like maybe tens or hundreds of people. It's hard to imagine it's all in water. So getting a really close look at how people live, and they're building new buildings, a lot of these places. One thing that is interesting that some of the adults or mothers, when we pass by them, they don't really look at us in the eyes. They try to avoid eye contact for some reason. I'm sure this is a good reason. We probably don't look very friendly or whatever. Or they've seen too many tourists. On the way back, we got some awesome view of these lotus-like plants. There are everywhere. There are big patches of them because apparently they do have some economic value. They are harvested, the flower and the seeds for some uses. I've heard things like herb or herbal tea, perfume, or cleaner. Yeah, I guess we certainly use the same thing for multiple purposes as well. And yeah, so along with tourism, probably seafood farming, all these plants that they can harvest. That's why it kind of explains the economic vibrancy that we witnessed. If you ever in this part of the world, you've got to take some time to visit Ganvié, Benin. It will really blow your mind. This video does not do justice to how amazing this place is. That's it for now. Thank you for following ABCD See the World. Don't forget to subscribe and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you. God bless.